Hello, welcome back. We are on number 7 of the functions section of Learn JavaScript on Codecademy. And I accidentally stopped the video when I was just trying to check to see how long it was. So let's keep going. So we're on helper functions. We can use the return value of a function inside another function. These functions being called within another function are often referred to as helper functions. Since each function is carrying out a specific task, it makes our code easier to read and debug if necessary. If we wanted to define a function that converts the temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit, we could write two functions like this. Function multiply by 9/5, passing it a number, return number times 9 divided by 5, right? 5 divided, yes. Function get Fahrenheit, return multiply by 9/5. So they have like a calculation set up for Fahrenheit, and then they're calling it here to get Fahrenheit from Celsius. Sorry, this is, I guess, is Celsius. Yes, plus 32. Get Fahrenheit. Okay, so get Fahrenheit is called, and 15 is passed as an argument. The code block inside of get Fahrenheit calls multiply by 9/5 and passes 15 as the argument. So it's checking to see if what is 15 Celsius in Fahrenheit. So it takes the argument of 15 for the number. The code block inside of multiply by 9/5 function multiplies 15 by 9/5, which evaluates to 27. 27 is returned back to the function call in get Fahrenheit, and then get Fahrenheit continues to execute. It adds 32 to 27, which evaluates to 59. Finally, 59 is returned back to the function call get Fahrenheit. We can use functions to section off small bits of logic or tasks and then use them when we need them. Writing helper functions can help take large and difficult tasks and break them into smaller and more manageable tasks. Real quickly, when you're starting to work with frameworks like React, for example, those helper functions sort of become components. So you may have a list, and then you may have like basically a list of items, and then you would have another smaller component that is each individual item, and you may even have elements of those items broken down into even smaller basically functions. Okay, so below create a monitor count. Below monitor count, create a function declaration named cost of monitors. Function cost of monitors. Okay, that has two parameters. The first is rows, the second is probably columns. Leave the function body empty for now. Cost of monitors. Oh, yep, sorry. Okay. Time to add some code to the function body of cost of monitors. So add a return statement, so return, that returns the value of calling monitor counts, rows, columns. So, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, copy. So it returns this times 200. Okay, we should save the cost to a variable. So declare a variable name. Oh, they probably want it to do outside of this. Total cost. So cont total cost, and then it equals cost of monitors. And we're going to have 5, 4. Okay, and then to check that the function worked properly, log console.log total cost. Total cost. Okay, so 4,000 sounds right. Cool. Next one. Number 8. So function expressions. Another way to define a function is to use a function expression. To define a function expression inside, or a function inside an expression, we can use the function keyword. In a function expression, the function name is usually omitted. So this is sort of like a nameless function. A function with no name is called an anonymous function. A function expression is often stored in a variable in order to refer to it. Consider the following. Const calculated area equals function width height. Const area equals width times height. Return area. To declare a function expression, declare a variable to make the variable's name be the name or identifier of the function. Since the release of ES6, it is common practice to use const as the keyword to declare the variable. Assign as that variable's value an anonymous function created by using the function keyword, followed by a set of parentheses with possible parameters, then a set of curly braces that contain the function body. So it would be something like const myfunc equals function, like that. Okay, and then the parentheses, and then enclosing any arguments being passed in. Unlike function declarations, function expressions are not hoisted, so they cannot be called before they're defined. So they're sort of in line. So let's define a new function using function expression. We have a plant we need to water on Wednesdays. So create a variable named plant needs water. So const plant needs water equals function. Okay, so it takes day as a parameter, and that is it. Let's run that. Okay, I think I passed. Yep. Now we need to add some code to the function body. So I'm going to open up the curly brackets. In the function body, add an if. So if parentheses curly brackets, it checks to see if day equals Wednesday. So day triple equals Wednesday. And the triple equals is asking, is the value of day a string, because there's 3 equals, not 2, a string that equals Wednesday? And if it does, then use the return keyword to return true. So I'm literally just going to say return true. On days that aren't Wednesday, it should return false. So add an else statement, else, after the if, and inside else return false. Cool, okay. Call the plant needs water function. Fine, plant needs water. Remember those parentheses, and then pass it the string Tuesday. And we should get, okay, so we're returning false, but we haven't console logged anything. So let's check that plant needs water returned what is expected. Log plant needs water. Okay, so now we're going to log console log plant needs water. Okay, so it's Tuesday, so it's false. It's not Wednesday. If I change this to Wednesday, we should get a Wednesday. I wonder if it's because, hang on. Wednesday, that needs water, run. Okay, it does definitely need the parentheses. So I guess it wants me to, I thought it was telling me to do two things, but it wants me to console log and invoke the function in one go. So now I should get a true. Okay, so here's my false. Okay, cool. Next. Arrow functions. Okay, arrow functions are super crazy. They also call them fat arrow. This is basically what a function now looks like. So it removes a lot of this stuff. So what was function my func? And then I'll just pass like num, and then num equals num times num. I don't know. It gets really stripped down. You don't need the function keyword anymore. It can just be my func. All right. Well, I'm totally skipping ahead. Okay. So so here is our function name, and then we're passing it like these are the parameters, and then instead of the just the curly brackets, we have these arrow functions. So this is sort of the beginning of it. We're going to kind of strip this down into its bare bones, but this looks closest to what we're used to. So basically function, parentheses, curly brackets. So the arrow goes basically between the parameters and the body. Okay, so change plant needs water to use arrow functions. So first, I guess they want us to keep the parentheses, and then we're going to add equals, and then is that all they want us to do right now? Okay, yep, cool. Okay, we are going to strip it way more down. Concise body arrow functions. So now that we've got this, we can actually take it down even more. So you can do basically a single line function, and we don't even need the return keyword. It's implicitly returned. So then what we end up with is the name of the function. We can get rid of these, and then we can get rid of the return, and we can even get rid of the curly brackets. So we have an extra semicolon here. I want to make sure I get rid of that. And then we can have it all exist on one line. So what this says is a function called plant needs water has a parameter called day, and in the body of the function, day is going to equal Wednesday. Or sorry, if day equals Wednesday, it's asking a question. This is sort of like Spanish, where or not really Spanish. The like question asking happens at the end of the line. I suppose it's more like English, where you're saying day equals Wednesday. Is that true? So that's sort of how that reads. And then if it's not, then return false. So let's run that. See if I made it. Did I make it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so super weird. And usually when I'm working with arrow functions, I literally have to do that because it just takes your brain a while to be like, okay, so that's the function name. I'm passing it day. Day is going into, that's how you can see that arrow. So day is going into the rest of the stuff. Day equals Tuesday. Is this true? Otherwise, it's false. Okay, so next one is the last one, which I think is just a concept review. Give yourself a pat on the back. Hooray! I've achieved things. I have a really great video that I want to share with you about ES6 functions, because they're pretty great. I still write full syntax functions for anything major, but if you just have to run a really quick function, it's super great to just be able to just insert it in there quickly without using a lot of code. So it works for a lot of things, not everything. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop talking, and I'll share some links in the comments. All right, thank you. Bye.